Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We are past the most significant impacts from the nor'easter over the weekend that moved through the area, particularly yesterday, but still seeing some lingering impacts around the region and in the local area as we move through the day today. Currently seeing cloudy conditions with some breezy conditions as well. Continue to be in a wind advisory and expecting those conditions to continue as we move through the day today. We'll start to see gradual improving conditions over the next 24 to 48 hours, and a slight chance we'll see some light rain or drizzle around the area with the low clouds, particularly as we get later in the day and into the evening time frame. Take a look at the current surface analysis. We can see two general areas of low pressure associated with that northeaster that is moving and lingering just off the coast here. Keeping things breezy. We'll see this front well off to the west gradually and slowly make its way through the area late Wednesday. It's going to help clear everything out and set up for some fairly quiet weather as we move through the second half of the week. As we look at our current visible satellite and composite radar here, we can see not much in the way on the local radar, just some light radar returns to our north, but can see those clouds stocked in over the area, so can't rule out light sprinkle or drizzle from that cloud cover, but generally just seeing cloudy conditions, and we have seen a few breaks try to develop in the clouds, but again, fairly brief in nature. So we look at the high resolution model, see what we can expect as we move through the next 48 hours. As mentioned, we'll see generally cloudy conditions as this area of low pressure still lingers just off the coast, and breezy conditions continuing. And again, as mentioned, particularly as we get later in the day and into the evening time frame, we see some light precip being indicated here on the high-res model, possibly rotating into the local area. But again, not expecting any significant accumulation with this, just some just dreary conditions as we move through the overnight. We'll start to see the breeze weaken slightly as we move through the overnight as well. We'll see the breeze pick back up, not quite as what we're seeing today, but potentially bringing a wind advisory for our Tuesday, and maybe a lingering light drizzle or sprinkle early in the day, and then things dry out and continue to dry out as we move through the remainder of the week. And we'll see even less in the way of winds as we move into the day on Wednesday, and more in the way of sun as those clouds finally start to clear out of here with that low pressure moving well off the coast. So zoom out, look at the European model here to see how the rest of the week plays out. As mentioned, that area low pressure pulls away. We'll see a brief mild day for Wednesday before a dry cold front pushes through late in the day. Wednesday is going to usher in some cooler temperatures. Once again, seeing some fairly quiet weather as high pressure builds into the area, but looking at cooler temperatures, particularly in the evening time frame as we move through the end of the work week, with things looking much calmer and quieter. We'll continue to see some slightly breezy conditions, but overall nice and quieter conditions. What we saw this past weekend, that continues as we move into the upcoming weekend, particularly during the first half of the weekend. And as we get into the second half and more so towards the end of the weekend, models are indicating the possibility of a trough digging in across the eastern part of the country and bringing a cold front, as we can see here, through the area, and along that some rain showers looking to potentially impact the area late Sunday into the early morning Monday time frame, but still quite a few days out before we can really narrow down that time frame there. So as we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, holding a yellow risk for that light precip or drizzle through the next 24 hours, particularly as we get again into the evening time frame and overnight time frame. Otherwise, seeing cloudy conditions through that time frame. We do have a yellow risk for lower ceilings, so that increases to an orange risk as we get into that evening time frame, as we do expect those ceilings to drop down to around 500 feet, 8 to 500 feet through that time frame. So a good chance of seeing those lower ceilings. Do have red conditions for our wind advisory through the working hours today. We are currently in a wind advisory and expecting those winds to stay elevated and then eventually back off a bit as we go into the evening time frame, and then possibly picking up as we get into the start of the day on Tuesday. So back to a yellow risk for the start of the day Tuesday, but high temperature topping around 62 degrees this afternoon, and we'll see a low temperature bottoming out around 56 degrees for Tuesday morning. Still seeing some coastal high tides, with tides running about a foot to 2 feet above normal. And we'll gradually see that improving as we move through the next couple days as well. Looking at the extended forecast here, you can see another cloudy and breezy day for Tuesday, and then things drying out, more sun as we move into the day on Wednesday, staying slightly breezy. Milder day with a high around 71 degrees for Wednesday. Then we're back down into the low to mid 60s for our highs for Thursday and Friday on the backside of that cold front. But overall, sunny conditions. We'll see our low temperatures down in the 40s for that time period. And then ahead of that next front pushing through on the weekend, we'll see temperatures back to more seasonably mild levels with some additional clouds around the area. And then we'll see that chance of rain potentially moving in the area with that boundary late Sunday, looking at about a 40% chance at this time, and could see that increasing as we get closer and gain a bit more confidence in the timing there. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.